Some men say they don't want to set the world on fire. And to that I say, they are punk-ass losers who just haven't tried it yet. It's time to find out. Can I beat Fallout New Vegas as the Pyro from TF2? Starting off, the rules. I am of course allowed to use every variant of the flamethrowers in the game. So Incinerator, Heavy Incinerator, Flamer, and Cleansing Flame. I'm also allowing myself to use the Arc Welder as a substitute for the Flog, which I'm sure to get lots of use out of. Oh yeah, definitely. Pyro of course has a plethora of secondary weapons, so I'll be using shotguns, but I won't be using any double barrel or lever action shotguns since I'm saving those for the scout. I also have access to the flare gun from Lonesome Road, another real winner in terms of damage output, and considering the Man Melter canonically comes from outer space and deals assloads of crits, I decided to allow myself to use the Alien Blaster too. Hey Kowalski, say hi to your brother for me. Also the gas bombs from Dead Money because of the gas passer. I use those about as much as anyone outside of MVM uses the gas passer, which is to say I didn't. For melee, obviously the fire axes were on the table, and so is the Nuka Breaker as our Neon Annihilator, the Sledgehammer as our Homewrecker, and the Proton Axis from Old World Blue, since those seem to be a good approximation for the third degree. And speaking of Old World Blues, there's no way I could leave the Big Mountain without the Hot Hand. So those are the weapons we're allowed to use. That just leaves us with the Gunrunner's Arsenal challenges we have to beat. We have... 1. We have to cripple enemies' right arms with shotguns. Just 5 of them. Okay, that's something I'll be able to do without even really thinking about it or trying at all, which is exactly what happens. So that's not great for the challenge. But we've got something else in store. I'll be trying to find as many wild wasteland encounters as I can. We can consider this the new Vegas version of Pyrovision. So let's get started. For the character creator, I make the Pyro, and just like that, we're ready to allocate our special stats. This was a long and difficult process because Pyro is such an enigmatic character. Not much is known about the Pyro even in the comics lore. I mean, he was CEO of a company for a little while and everyone seemed to like him there, so I guess he must be pretty charismatic, right? Perception was the stat I felt the most comfortable dumping, since Pyro's perception of the world is pretty warped to say the least. This kinda sucks for an energy weapons character, but we'll make do. Everything else was a mostly even spread just to cover our bases. Maybe I set my endurance too high considering Spies was so low and it's a difference of 50 HP in TF2, but I had to go for the flame retardant setting. Maybe my Spy was using the kunai, I don't know. For my tag skills, I take energy weapons since that's what the flamethrowers use, melee weapons since I have a lot of good options there, and repair, since the Pyro kind of jury-rigs all of his flamethrowers together, so it works out. And for my traits, I take Wild Wasteland, of course, and Hot-Blooded, because fire hot.
Ah, fire indeed hot.
With that done, we set out into the world, and our first task is finding a weapon, which is harder than you might think. At this point, my best option for a weapon is a single shotgun. Fire axes aren't that common until the later game, and while some early game characters carry sledgehammers around, it's pretty hard to take them off of them without killing them, and I need a weapon for that. Luckily, I find a shotgun laying around Good Springs and can set out on my adventure.
Master.
Where are you going? Where's Easy Pete going? Pete? I'm scared. Having a weapon means we can do the tutorial, and once we're done with that, we set out towards Prim to get our first real taste of fire. The leader of the convicts inside the Bison Steve Casino has an incinerator and I want it. On the way over, we pay Indiana Jones a visit and start to clear out the convicts once we reach Prim. The single shotgun isn't the best tool for the job, but soon enough I'm able to kill the leader and make off with the incinerator. Oh yeah. After turning Deputy Beagle into a nice and toasty, if slightly overcooked Deputy Bagel, I grab some garbage, turn a robot into a sheriff, and move on towards Nipton, hitting a pretty sick nasty Kobe shot and turning this lady into a funny ragdoll along the way. Some of the other raiders do give me a bit of trouble, but fire is typically stronger than flesh, so I end up victorious. Although they did keep respawning every time I took a nap, which was curious. Anyway, I am loving what the Legion has done with Nipton. There's fire everywhere, and look! The guy in charge is even a furry with the head prize. Yeah, that settles it. As a Pyro player, I now swear eternal loyalty to the Legion. Oh. burn everyone. I see. But that doesn't mean I can't take advantage of the NCR for all they're worth. So I take care of their ant problem. Any excuse to destroy more living creatures. I circle strafe some scorpions to death, and realize I'll need to level up explosives to get the Pyromaniac perk, which is weird because most fire weapons are energy weapons instead of explosives, but whatever. Realizing I need a mask, I decide to hop inside of the Lonesome Road for a second to grab one. The Riot Police helmet in the commissary will do for the time being. It's got sort of the vibe I'm looking for, but it's actually another DLC that has the mask I see. I also grab an arc welder while I'm here and am immediately underwhelmed by just how bad it is. I'm also overwhelmed by the sentry bot, so maybe it's better if we just come back later. I say hi to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru as I head out of Mitten and introduce myself to local wildlife, while also doing my best to make Kobe proud. Oh, got you that time. That'll do it. Oh, come on. That'll do it. Yes! Got you. Several raider encounters later, I end up in Novak and get the Come Fly With Me quest, which will help me get one half of my outfit. But before that, I head off to Good Springs and go north on the route with all the Cazadors, because I was under the impression that one of the raiders in Bonnie Springs had a fire axe on him, which would just make my life a lot easier at this point since ammo was consistently becoming a concern. Well, the Cazadors didn't jump scare me that badly. I'm lying, they scared the absolute piss out of me. Oh god! But clearing them out gave me a hefty chunk of well-deserved early game experience. And then a giant mantis gave me yet another heart attack. Fire type attack strong. Ah, bug! Fucking bugs, man. However, soon the local wildlife aid me in my battle against the raiders of Bonnie Springs, and you are just not taking damage. Is what I would have said. You don't know. I got the boys in blue on my side. Oh my god. And down she goes. But this last guy ends up taking a very long time to kill, as I'm forced to kill him with nothing but pulse slugs, and I'm brought down to almost nothing. Oh yeah, none of them had a fire axe, so all of this was just a giant waste of time. I just remembered the game wrong. On the plus side, I now have a straight shot to Vegas and run into fellow Pyro main Cook. Die, I want your weapons. And your head. The gunrunners are unfortunately not selling anything I can use yet, and I can't afford the Nuka Breaker either. But the Silver Rush never lets me down. I do some quick work for them, burn this potential customer to death, do another quick and easy job, and the last one isn't so easy, at least not for me. I need a barter or speech check of at least 50 to get Cass to come with me, and I've got other stats I need to level up way before those, so it's time for some detours. First, we pay our respects to a fallen hero at the site of his demise, then we cook some beef, and head over to Camp Searchlight in search of Knock Knock, the game's unique fire axe. The radiation and ghouls are pretty brutal, but I soon find the scavengers hiding in a basement who will help me on my journey. However, I need to hack a computer in order to progress in this quest. Damn it. I really just need a massive influx of levels so I can boost my stats up. Fuck it, let's go to Old World Blues. Not only is this where I'll find the mask I need for my final outfit, but it's also fitting because if there's one group of people I could describe as lobotomites, it would be Pyro players. So we do the Old World Blues thing of sitting around through a fuckload of dialogue, I meet the man responsible for the existence of Cazadors, and decide then and there that all of these things must perish. And one of my first lobotomite kills grants me a weapon I can actually use, a proton axe. Finally a weapon that won't chew through my ammo. I stole your axe. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Burn? You gonna burn? You gonna burn? 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 I get stuck underground for a little bit and continue on my journey through the big mountain. I find the suit I need, but it's stuck behind plot progression. Fine, I'll get your damn technologies. After I'm done killing the Doctor Who references and looking at the funny crabs. Most of my time wandering the big mountain is spent trying to get all the modules in the sink set up, which probably took up way more of my time than it should have, but how can I say no to the horny light switches? The enemies around here actually give me quite a bit of trouble, which is the price I pay for going into Old World Blues early, but that doesn't stop me from teaching some grass monsters basic type matchups and heading inside Higgs Village, where I have a run-in with a very bad doggy. Now yes, he does one-shot me from full health and almost does the same even when I boost up my damage threshold, but that's not going to stop me from killing him. Even if he's just a figment of my imagination, he is one that I cannot allow to exist anymore. We peep the horror for a bit, fight a scary robot, and we get an amazing reward out of it. The hot ham. And this is a real deal hot ham. Like, it lights people on fire and everything. We're gonna get some use out of this. Never thought I'd say that about the hot hand. Anyway, we grab the antenna thing that the brain boys want, find the toaster, toast some boys, steal this guy's 3rd degree because it's cooler than mine, and finally get the Pyromaniac perk, officially becoming a Pyro. After bringing in all the modules, we get the sexy sneak suit, complete the sneak challenge with a couple of hiccups. It didn't see me. It didn't fucking see me. It can't see me if I don't move. It's a fucking T-Rex. And phlogistonate some scorpions to death. The arc welder still isn't that good, but it's better than nothing, and I've got loads of ammo for it. The proton axe I have is comically better though, and now that I leveled up again and got super slammed, it's just ridiculous. Okay, one more exit. Of course. All I hear is talking. Next up, I create an unholy abomination, give it Canadian healthcare, and go to high school with my new doggy friend. And nothing bad ever happened to her. Speaking of dogs, here's some playing poker, and here's a really fucking big one that is much too big. After killing it, my sonic emitter is now upgraded and can destroy energy shields, which is the only thing I will use it for, because it's not a pyro weapon. Oh dear god, the bugs, 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 the... After making some friends with the lab experiments and continuing to upgrade the sync modules, I meet up with some friendly dwarves who are off to work and finally grab my mask. Unfortunately, while it looks the part, everything's kinda green. Oh god. Does that make it green just for nighttime or all the time? For the sake of not torturing you guys with green tinting for the rest of the video, I downloaded a mod that removed the green tint from the mask, so now we have fashion and function. Functional eyeballs anyway, Jesus. So after collecting all the technologies for the Brain Boys, they send me off to fight the evil Dr. Morbius, and it goes great. Oh, give me a fucking... How do you miss? It's 3 feet in front of you and like 50 feet long! Eventually, through the power of drugs, fire, and a really big axe, I'm able to take down his giant robo-scorpion, confront him, and talk to my brain. Stewie Griffin Brain is pretty apprehensive about getting back in my body, but lightens up when I remind him that we like to light things on fire. Very in character for the Pyro, and that's exactly what we do, or at least we try. Yeah, sorry Brain, I hope you like beating things to death with an axe as much as you like fire. And after the longest end credit sequence fucking ever, that takes us out of Old World Blues, finally.
We could say more, but the stories in the big empty speak for themselves.
You could say more! Now we can go back to Searchlight, hack that computer terminal, and continue this quest by going in this... Fuck! Well, let's go do Honest Hearts real quick so that way we have enough experience to level up our lockpick. It's fine, just a couple more quests and I will have enough lockpick to get in there. I run around trying to finish some old quests and odd jobs I had laying around, including finally getting around to getting Cass to sell their caravan, and follow me to Freeside. And nothing bad happened to her at all. I also bought the Nuka Breaker while I was there, so now I can be a Pyro Shark. My final job at the Silver Rush involves me ambushing a bunch of legionaries, but they're my friends and I don't really want to kill them. I will take their hunting shotguns though, those are nice. And by completing that quest, I'm able to buy the Cleansing Flame and level up and get my lockpick up just enough that I can get that stupid fucking cave lock, give the scavengers their radiation suits, and finally work on getting Knock Knock. I have a slight disagreement with my friends along the way, but it's probably for the best considering now they don't have to behold the face of God himself. Or herself, I guess. It's God, it's God, it's God. I found God, I found God. Alright, God. Time to meet... So after that horribly disturbing shit, I finally grab Knock Knock and get the hell out of this place. Hello, woman. Oh my god, she's a zombie. It's then that I remember I didn't actually finish Come Fly With Me, so I never got my spacesuit. Yeah, the rad resistance from that wouldn't have helped at all in Searchlight. Well, I break in the new toys against every living being inside the Repcon test site, and grab my spacesuit, giving us our final Pyro loadout. I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. We send our boys to the moon and start hot-handing some local fiends to death for fun. I then pop back into Loathsome Road to grab a flare gun. Why did I want this? Wow, it's terrible. This was a waste of time. Oh, right, it's because I needed a holdout weapon for the casino so I could kill Benny. And then once I finally managed to get my sneak up sufficiently, I realized the hot hand works just as well as a holdout weapon. This was a complete double waste of my time. At least the marked men had good loot. Benny doesn't seem to recognize me. Know what in the goddamn to be seen, so yeah, I just start punching. And Volpace is there to give me an invitation to his secret club, which I gladly accept. First though, I want to learn as many unarmed techniques as I can so I can make the most out of the hot hand. And so I learned the Ranger Takedown and Scribe Counter after making myself acquainted with the White Glove Society. And you know, I just don't have enough fun toys to play with, so I decide to pay some friendly aliens a visit and take their alien blaster. Kobe. Oh! That actually worked. Alright. Can I hit this? Yep! Oh my goodness. I am so going to enjoy this. I also decided to take the meltdown perk for my flamethrowers, which is such a bad idea, but it's also very funny. In doing some odd jobs around Freeside, I become a degenerate like all Pyro mains, and run into a gang of geriatric golden girls. Empowered by my ability to defeat old women, I try out all of my new toys on some Deathclaws to see just how powerful I've become, and yeah, I'm basically just God now. Unless of course a Cazador ends up jump scaring me to death. Yeah, I knew it. Damn it! I am up in this area of the map for a reason though, and that's to check out the One. A giant nuke guarded by some green heavy weapons guys. And while heavy does counter Pyro, I'm quick to remind them that the Man Melter counters everything. A few funny scorpion ragdolls and some dead geckos later, and I finally head to Cottonwood Cove to meet up with my chosen faction, the Legion. Do you think Caesar really wants to work with this thing? I don't know. I finally meet Caesar, and he instructs me to destroy the Securitron army under the bunker, which I do without much issue. Even getting a bit of use out of the arc welder for once. Caesar is pleased and wants me to knock out House with a 1-2 punch. So naturally I take his advice completely literally and punch House to death with the hot hand. There's only a few things left to do for Caesar. Deal with the boomers and deal with the tumors. Also the president and the white gloves. The boomers don't give me much trouble getting into their base thanks to me air blasting their rockets away, and I decide to help them out. People who like fire and explosions like this can't be all bad, right? So I clear out their ants, listen to their history, give them some missiles, do the plant vault quest in the middle of all this for some reason. I think I needed experience for medicine, but I got to light a big fire and that was cool, so worth it. Oh. I lived that. Okay. After this, I still didn't have enough experience, so I decided to slaughter all of the Omertas because I haven't ripped off Nurbit enough as it stands. My bloodlust was still unsatisfied, so I decided to wipe out all of the Deathclaws from both the Quarry Junction and Deadwind Cavern. Thanks to the Riot Shotgun and the Ant Stay Back perk, it was pretty satisfying to just walk up to these ultra powerful Deathclaws and blast them away without any stealth required. I could get used to this. And much like any good Pyro, I abused the power of stun locks in order to make all of the Deathclaws of the Wasteland my bitches. Returning to the boomers, I realized I just wasted a bunch of time because all I needed to do was talk to Loyal about fixing the solar array, which I already did. But for some reason I just couldn't find him. I blame my bad perception stat. In any case, I embrace my inner Pyro Shark, swim to the plane, and bring it to the surface, winning the boomers over to my side. Next, Caesar wants me to make a deal with the White Glove Society, and they say no. Mission accomplished! Back to Caesar. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of New Vegas. Wiping out the Brotherhood of Steel, and oh god, they already don't like me. They shoot on sight and rip right through me. Those Gauss rifles especially are nasty. The secret to defeating them lies in the Alien Blaster. Thank god I got this thing. Oh no, my brain! Once I get into the bunker, they still put up quite the fight, but I go all American Psycho on them, clearing them out with my axes. Then the Elder's ashes fall through the floor after I use the Man Melter on him, and I have to no-clip to get his keycard because fucking New Vegas, man. Once that's done, I have to cure Caesar's skeletosis, so I head inside of Vault 34, fight my way through the ghouls, grab the Autodoc module, and the power of science heals him. There we go. Oh god. Big Chungus. Oh Jesus. Oh god, he's big. Then it's finally time to kill the president. I tried so many times to make this work, and it just didn't. Anytime I got too close, the NCR opened fire on me and auto-failed the quest, and I could only trigger the president's arrival by talking to the Legion spy in the middle of the crowd. My only option was to use a disguise, the tool of the enemy. I did it, but I'm not proud of it. Though I did make sure to slaughter everyone there to make up for my transgressions. No one can claim I disguised myself if no one lives to tell the tale. I then head back to the- NCR disguise. I then head back to the fort, and it's time for the Battle of Hoover Dam. I stock up on supplies, make my own Wild Wasteland encounters, and meet up with Lanius. At the dam, I charge forward with my Legion bros, hacking the NCR to death with my axe, burning them with the cleansing flame, blowing them away with the riot shotgun, and kind of annoying them with the flare gun. Really, the flamethrower ended up being the least useful of my weapons, besides the flare gun. The NCR are very well armored, and while Shotgun Surgeon and Piercing Strike can help break through their armor, the flamethrower just can't. But that didn't stop me from slaughtering every man I saw, with the Man Melter proving especially effective. I know the Legion is against the use of advanced technology, but I really think they should reconsider. After sending the NCR a clear sign, all that was left was General Oliver, who ran away like a scared little baby. There was only one way this was ever going to end. I am the Pyro! Okay, time out. It took a few tries, a bit of trial and error, and every last one of my alien blaster shots missing when it really, really mattered. Alright, 3 shots left. Make them count! Are you? What is that? What is that spread? You're smoking crack! But I was able to kill all the NCR soldiers, defeat General Oliver, and prove that you can beat Fallout New Vegas as the Pyro from TF2. Lobotomy and all. This was definitely a lot more straightforward than the Spy Challenge. Having a lot more bulk and some of the most broken abilities in the game definitely helped with that. The thing that ended up surprising me the most was just how much the flamethrowers fell off in effectiveness. It mostly became a shotguns and melee build by the end of the game, but I still think I was able to show the Mojave the glorious power of fire. If not through my flamethrower, then by a flurry of 12-gauge Dragon's Breath rounds in their face. If you want to see more runs like these, then I'll be back with more of them soon, and I'll see you guys next time. This guy's got a name in binary. You know who wouldn't appreciate binary? Bang from Goodbye Volcano High, the greatest game ever made!